Today I will be sharing 6 of my family's all-time favorite desserts using just 3 simple ingredients. These desserts are simple, but they do not taste that way at all. They taste so bold and so full of flavor. I really can't wait to share them with you. Let's go get to cooking. To kick us off today, we are making these peanut butter cookies. So into this bowl, add in 1 cup of sugar. Next, add in 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. You could use any type of creamy peanut butter that you would like. Then add in 1 egg, and that is all you have to do. Beat this together super well, and don't go knocking this recipe until you try it. I gave it to like all of my family and some friends, and they all didn't even think that it was only 3 ingredients. They really are that good. So line a sheet pan or a cookie tray with parchment paper, scoop about 1-inch balls onto that pan, and then after you scoop your balls onto the pan, go ahead and make a cross with the back of a fork onto the cookies. Since these cookies don't flatten out too much, this will really help them bake. Bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 12 minutes. I don't know what it is, but every year at this time of year, I always crave peanut butter cookies. These peanut butter cookies are so perfect. They have such minimal ingredients. And if you wanted to make those like kiss peanut butter cookies, you could totally do that with this recipe. Just put a kiss in the middle. These are so delicious. You need to try them. Now we're making this 3-ingredient fudge, and holy moly, this is so good. To a microwave safe bowl, or you could use a pot on the stove, add in 3 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. After you add that milk in there, add in 1/4 cup of butter. Then you're going to microwave this for about 4 minutes. You want to stir it after every minute it's been in the microwave, just so nothing burns. So after every minute, give it a stir. And then if you do want to do this in a pot on the stove, just stir it on a low heat until the chocolate chips are nice and melty and everything is kind of like silky and well combined. Once it looks like this, go ahead and set it to the side. You want to either line an 8x8 baking dish or a small baking dish with foil, and then you want to spray that foil with a little bit of nonstick spray or oil spray. Add that fudge right into the baking dish, then press it down super duper well. This is the easiest, most affordable fudge that you could make. That is all you have to do. Or if you want to sprinkle toppings over the top, you certainly can. I'm a huge Reese's peanut butter fan, so I sprinkled chopped up Reese's peanut butter cups over the top of one side. The other side, my husband's a huge M&M fan, so I sprinkled M&Ms on that side. Or you could sprinkle like nuts, you could do coconut, you could do caramel sauce. You could really sprinkle anything you like on your fudge. Let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours or until your fudge has hardened. Then all you have to do is remove it from the pan, take the foil off, and then cut your fudge into kind of like fudge pieces. If you serve this fudge to friends or family or people at your work, they're going to think you spent hours and hours trying to make it. It is so delicious. It has the most perfect texture, and like I said, you could sprinkle anything that you like over the top. Now we are making these sugar cookies, and they are so perfect for this time of year. To a large bowl, add in 1 cup of softened butter. You want to make sure your butter softened just so it combines well with 2/3 cup of sugar. Beat those ingredients together super duper well until it kind of looks like this. Now you're going to add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract along with 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Beat those ingredients together until it is kind of crumbly. If it's looking like this and you're getting worried, don't get discouraged. This is how it's supposed to be. These cookies turn out so well in the end, I promise. Now scoop the cookie dough into 1-inch balls, dip them in a little bit of sugar, then place them on a sheet pan or a cookie tray lined with parchment paper. Do this for all of your cookie dough, and this next part is optional, but if you want to be a little bit festive with it, go ahead and dip each cookie dough ball in a little bit of sprinkles. I'm doing kind of like Christmas sprinkles, and you want to make sure you press down kind of hard just so the cookie dough sticks to the sprinkles. Bake this in a preheated oven to 325 degrees for about 12 minutes. Here's what our sugar cookies look like out of the oven. They're not flat, they're not crispy. These sugar cookies are flaky and they are just oh so good. I love a good fluffy sugar cookie. I don't particularly love them when they're kind of like flat, hard as rock biscuits, but sometimes those are good too, but these are just extra delicious. Now we're making this banana bread, and even if you're not the biggest banana bread fan in the world, I really think you're going to like this one. To a big bowl, add in 4 bananas and mash those bananas up. Next, add in 1 box of yellow cake mix. After you add your cake mix right into that bowl, add in 2 eggs. Then you're going to beat this together super well until all of the ingredients are well combined. This is seriously the easiest banana bread recipe that you can make. It doesn't taste like it came from like an average box of cake mix. It is so good. My husband even said this is like one of his favorite banana bread recipes, and he's not the biggest fan of banana bread, so that really does say something. Grab a loaf pan. I'm using my 4 mini loaf pans today. Spray them with non-stick spray, or spray your loaf pan with non-stick spray. Add that mixture right into your pan, and then this is totally optional, but if you're a fan of like chocolate chips and nuts in your banana bread, you can add some over the top. I added a little bit of semi-sweet chocolate chips and pecans, but you could add a little bit of brown sugar, cinnamon, do whatever you'd like, or you could bake it just plain. Bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 40 minutes or until the center has set. It's been my favorite thing recently to make our banana bread in these little loaf pans. That way I can make a little loaf for ourselves and then give the other ones to family or friends. Also, I like to eat my banana bread with a little pat of butter on the top. I don't know if anybody else does that, let me know, but I just think it is so good. But this is the best, most affordable banana bread recipe. It comes together in no time and it is so delicious. Now we're making this apple cake, so into a bowl, add in 4 eggs, just dump those eggs right in there. After that, add in 1 box of spice cake mix. After you add the spice cake mix in there, add in 1 can of apple pie filling. The apple pie filling just makes this cake extra moist and extra flavorful. That is all you have to do. Beat these ingredients together super well, and if you're using an electric hand mixer like this, it's going to kind of break up the apples and kind of make them a little bit smaller if you want them smaller. If you don't want them smaller, just stir it with a spoon. Now grab a 9x13 baking dish, spray it with non-stick spray, then add the cake mixture right in there, spread that cake out, and then you are going to bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. Once it's out of the oven, you could serve it immediately or serve it for later. I actually made some homemade whipped cream on the side. I had some heavy cream on hand that I wanted to use up, so I just did heavy cream mixed with powdered sugar and some vanilla extract. If you want to do that, you certainly can, or you could serve this cake alone, or you could top it with some Reddi-wip or ice cream. We also sprinkled the top of ours with cinnamon. This is so delicious, so moist, and the perfect apple cake. Whenever I'm craving cookies, but I want to make them a little bit healthier, I always make these oatmeal cookies. They satisfy my sweet tooth cravings, so into a bowl, add in 3 bananas. You want to mash those bananas up until they are really well mashed. Then add in a 1/2 cup of peanut butter. I'm using creamy peanut butter, and you could use any type of peanut butter you like or any brand. Then add in 2 cups of old-fashioned oats. I'll be the first to admit I was a little bit of a mess adding those oats in. I was also adding them in with like a 1/2 cup measuring cup. Now mix this together super well, and if I'm feeling a little crazy, I like to add in 1 cup of M&Ms, or you could add in chocolate chips, or you could leave them plain. Really, whatever you'd like, just stir those in, and then you're going to want to grab a cookie tray or a sheet pan, line it with parchment paper, place scoops of it onto your pan, and that is all you have to do. Bake this in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 11 minutes. Then I like to let them cool for about 20 minutes before I serve them. These cookies are so delicious, and like I said before, if I'm feeling like a sweet treat, these always satisfy my sweet treat craving. Make sure you're subscribed down below the video so you don't miss the next video like this, and I'll see you there. Bye for now.